Hey guys, recently we saw some fireworks in Congress between Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin and Treasury Secretary Yellen. In a congressional hearing, the senator asked if Yellen agreed with him that deficit spending is a top cause of inflation. He was asking because the Congressional Budget Office, which is the in-house accountants for Congress, had just predicted the national debt will top $50 trillion in 6 years. By the way, that's about 2.5 times the size of our entire economy. Janet's answer? No, she does not think that deficits are a main driver of inflation. Johnson was astounded, of course. Keep in mind, Yellen has a Ph.D. in economics from Yale, no less. She's a former Fed chair, and she literally claims to think, that pouring $7 trillion in deficits, almost $5 trillion freshly printed by the Fed, does not drive inflation. So Milton Friedman said it best: inflation is caused by too much money chasing too few goods. But apparently the rules are different for those unicorn fart federal dollars. Sure, federal dollars might spend the same as your dollars. It will hire away the steel, the workers you need for a new warehouse. It will buy up the car you were hoping to buy. But when it comes to downsides, federal dollars have a unique inflation-defying superpower. Next, Johnson asked Yellen if she was concerned about that $50 trillion debt. Given that's just 6 years away, that implies about $3 trillion per year. Again, the magic. No, Janet's not concerned because rates will stay low, so interest will stay low. Not only is this false, it puts the entire Ponzi on top of praying that foreigners keep buying dollars like they always have. I've got a couple of videos laying out that no, they probably will not. Now, remember, debt interest isn't fresh debt, okay? This is just paying the debts we've already committed. Fresh debt deficits are bonus, 2 to 3 trillion on top of that. And that interest is already soaring, despite Yellen's chill. 2 years ago, we paid about $350 billion in interest. By the way, about half of what we spent on Social Security. Last year, it jumped more than $100 billion. And this year, CBO says it's on track to $650 billion in 1 year. Incidentally, that would exceed what we spend on Social Security. Why is debt interest soaring? Because the Fed hiked rates at the fastest rate in 50 years to hide the worst inflation in 50 years that they had caused. When the Fed raises rates, it also raises the cost of debt interest. The problem is that debt interest keeps growing. It goes up day after day because old debt rolls off and they have to replace it with new debt at a far higher rate. Right now, 30-year bonds, which are the main form of debt, are paying 30% more than last year. In other words, we're on track to $8 trillion annual in interest, and that's on top of the fresh $2+ trillion in deficits. So no, we are not on a sustainable path. The idea is ludicrous. Finally, as grim as this all is, there's one single thing holding it together: foreigners. I've covered de-dollarization, but the bottom line is, if foreigners dump their dollars, it could drive interest rates dramatically higher. In the 1970s, we hit almost 19%. If that happens again, we'd be looking at interest costs alone of multiple trillions. So bottom line, nobody's driving this thing, and it's going very, very fast. All right, we'll be watching. See you guys next time.